Hi everyone, it's Frances from RelieveYourMind.com, here with a little tutorial on emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT or tapping. Emotional freedom technique is based on the same principle as acupuncture, acupressure, and reflexology. And that principle is that we have channels or meridians running through our bodies through which our energy should be able to flow freely, but that sometimes during the course of anyone's normal day-to-day life, these meridians become blocked and there's always a negative manifestation. That negative manifestation could be something physical like pain or injury. It could be emotional like sadness or anger. And it sometimes even seems to be something in the outside world like a difficult person or situation. But the good news is that regardless of how the negativity manifests, you can easily just tap on the end points of these meridians, clear away the blockage, get the good energy flowing once again, and the problem often will resolve itself, or it will at least make it easier for you to do whatever it is you have to do about it. EFT can be used for pretty much any issue in your life. As I said before, pain, emotions, if you want to sleep better or make more income or bring that special person into your life. But because it can be used for so many things, the first thing you want to do is be very specific about why you're using it right now. If you want to work on 14 different things, you can use EFT for all 14 of those things, but during any given session, just do one thing at a time. So why are you using it right now? Do you want to lose weight? That's great. How much weight do you want to lose exactly? And by when do you want to lose it? Do you know why you have this extra weight or why it's difficult for you to lose? Do you crave those pink donuts with the sprinkles on them, or maybe is your metabolism running a little bit slowly? Do you hate to exercise? What is the reason and what is the amount of weight that you want to lose? The more specific you can be about it, the better. Or if it's a matter of bringing more income into your life, how much income do you want to bring into your life, and by when, and how do you want to bring it in? So be as specific as you can for the issue that you want to work on. And as you work on any given issue from one day to the next, you may find that the specificity about it changes. So for today, for this moment right now, when you're doing EFT, why is it that you're doing it? The next thing you want to do is assign a number from 1 to 10 to this issue. How important is it to you? How distressing is it to you? And you want to try and make this number as high as possible. Don't lie, be honest with yourself. But if, for example, you often worry about this particular problem, you often feel like your life is miserable because of this particular problem, but right at the moment it doesn't seem like that big a deal, try to remember a time when you did feel bad about it and use that number instead of the current one. So you'll write down that number. Now you've been specific about the problem and you're writing down the number. The next step is to write a setup statement. A setup statement is a specific version of, even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So even though I'm 10 pounds overweight because I love those donuts with the sprinkles, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Or even though I'm not getting enough sleep because I'm staying up too late and then I have to wake up early for work, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. Get as many specific details in there as possible. And then you begin tapping. And it's a great idea to write down your setup statement as well as the other two things. Then you begin the tapping. The first place you tap is called the karate chop point because it's where you make a karate chop. It's the fleshy part of the side of your hand. And you'll tap here long enough to say the setup statement 3 times. So let's say you want to bring more income into your life. Even though I'm worried because I have to bring $10,000 more into my life and I have to do it before the end of the year, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have no idea how I'm going to bring this extra $10,000 into my life and I know I have to do it, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am stressed about needing this extra $10,000, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you say the setup statement 3 times. You can say it exactly the same way if you particularly like that, or you can mix it up a little bit, as I did. Then you go to the tapping points. And as you tap each tapping point, you say a reminder statement which comes from your setup statement. So in this case, we can say, the worry that I have about this extra $10,000 or something like that. The first tapping point is called eyebrow. It's right where right above where your eyebrow begins. Outer eye is on the bone on the side of your eye. Under eye on the bone beneath your eye. Under nose in this little divot below your nose and above your top lip. Chin is actually above your chin and below your bottom lip. Collarbone, you find the knob of your collarbone and go down about an inch and out about an inch in this area here. Underarm is about a hand's width below your armpit, and it's where your bra strap is. And then top of head, this is where some wonderful meridian endpoints are, a lot of them. So you can use the flat of your hand to cover a lot of territory. You can use the tips of your fingers and move them around in a circle, however it works best for you. But what one round would look like is this. This extra $10,000 I worry about having to make before the end of the year. I am so stressed about having to make another $10,000. I have no idea where I'm supposed to get this extra income. Sometimes I lose sleep at night because I'm so afraid I have to make this extra money. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do to make an extra $10,000 before the end of the year. I am so upset because I don't know how to make an extra $10,000. I've never had to make an extra $10,000 before. I'm very worried and stressed and upset about making an extra $10,000. And now you do at least 2 rounds on the tapping points, but you probably want to do more like 5 or 6 because you want to tap long enough to feel calmer about it. You'll know you've done enough tapping when you start to feel better. So after you've done 5 or 6 rounds or enough to feel better about it, give yourself a little break, take a nice deep breath, and then reassess that number 1 to 10. It should have gone down 2 or 3 points. And the whole reason that you're tapping is to make yourself feel better, to disconnect that emotional response to whatever it seems is going on in your life so that you can clear the negative blockage and allow the good energy to flow once again. There are a number of ways to use tapping for your benefit. And I would recommend that in the first round, you always acknowledge what the problem is, because at the moment, it seems to be a problem to you. You know, your next door neighbor may be having exactly the same issue, but doesn't consider it to be a problem, so it's not a problem for him or for her. But you consider it to be a problem. You are upset about it or worried or whatever the issue is, and you want to calm yourself down from that. So you begin by acknowledging what the problem is. You can do a second round and a third round where you bring in positive imagery. You still acknowledge what the problem is, but you acknowledge that you want to release the problem, you're willing to release the problem, and then you can do a third round where you choose to release the problem. So I will demonstrate that for you now, but use this process the way it works best for you. If you can come up with some other terminology that feels better for you, that resonates more for you, it's fine to use that instead. So what I would do is create another setup statement using want. Even though I'm still worried about making this extra $10,000 by the end of the year, I want to release that worry now, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm still all concerned about making this extra money, I want to release that concern now, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I still have no idea how I'm going to make this money, I want to let that fear go, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This worry that I have about making an extra $10,000, I want to let it go now. This fear that I have about having to make extra money, I want to release it now. This upset I'm feeling about this extra money, I want to eliminate it now. these bad feelings I have about this fear of earning extra money, I want to let it go now. And again, you'll do 5 or 6 rounds until you start to feel better. When you start to feel better, you can give yourself a little break, take a nice deep breath, and then reassess your number, which should have gone down again another 2 or 3 points. Now be honest with yourself about this number thing. No one's ever going to check it. No, it's not a test. No one's ever going to know what you said the number was. Be honest. And if you are feeling like the number is not going down, you can do some more tapping, or you can tap for longer. You can tap for more days. I would recommend that you do this tapping procedure for each day for a while until you start to see the results of it. Now you can do a third tapping round if you would like, as I mentioned before, where you say, I choose to release the problem. So you can create another setup statement. Even though I still have this issue with the extra income and I still worry about it, I choose to release it now, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I still don't know how I'm going to make this extra money, I choose to let that worry go, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm still in the dark about how this is all supposed to happen, I choose to release that, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I still have this problem with making an extra $10,000, but I choose to release my fear about it now. I still don't know how I'm supposed to bring that money in, but I choose to eliminate my worry about it now. I am still upset about having to make extra money, but I'm willing to set that fear aside right now. I still don't know what I'm going to do to make this extra money, but I am willing to release my negative feelings about it now, and I choose to release my negative feelings about it now. And you tap and tap until you start to feel better. Then you give yourself a break, take a nice deep breath, and reassess the number 1 to 10. And by now you should be down to about a 2 or a 1 or a 0. And the whole idea is to disconnect your negative feelings about it, because once you clear away that blockage, you get the good energy flowing once again, and you'll see good things will start to come into your life. The problem might resolve itself. You might not have to do anything, but if you do have to do something, it will help you to be clearer headed about it. Some tips on tapping: you can do it with your left hand or your right hand on the left side or the right side. You can do it on both sides. You can alternate, whatever starts to feel better for you as you do this process. If you're having difficulty getting the number to go down, think about the statement that you've made. Can you make it more specific? Or if you've made it very literal, can you make it a little more inferential? Maybe add the word maybe or perhaps to make it a little bit more inferential. Play around with your words to see if you can come up with something that works better for you. If you're at home, also you can consider moving to another room. There may be something in that first room that's bugging you for this process. This doesn't mean it's a problem all the time. Doesn't mean you're allergic to it or anything, but moving to another room might help. And also consider seeing an EFT practitioner. Often they can listen to what you say and find the core problem within what appears to be the problem and help you to clear it better. So my name is Frances O'Brien. My website is relieveyourmind.com. Please feel free to email me at frances@relieveyourmind.com with any questions you may have. I'm happy to answer them. And thank you for watching my EFT tutorial. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks.